Welcome back to 2020 Trading. My name is Kunle, and in this video I'll be talking about a biotech, a company that has done an amazing run from $4 in January of this year to right now. I'm looking at the chart and it's $103 from $4 to $103 in 6 months. So in this video, let's talk about why that run happened. It's, by the way, it's a coronavirus play. So just so you know. Okay, let's talk about that in this video. So from the beginning, from around January, February, when COVID-19 became a thing and everybody knew about it, all the companies that had any potential to make a vaccine started to move up. The prices started to bounce. All the different companies, any company that had any potential to make a vaccine was bouncing. And so was Novavax. Novavax was at 4 and it started to come up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It kept coming up literally every day. It was just creeping up little by little, no volume, nothing, just creeping up. And by the first week, second week in May, it was already trading at about $18. Now on this day, on the 11th of May, it was announced that they have been given funding by a not-for-profit organization called Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. They were promised $384 million. Now, this was where everything really changed, because I remember that day, it went up in after hours from about $18, $19 to about $30. So at this point, because it had gone up from about $18 to $30, in fact about $34 on that day, I thought, wow, this is an amazing run. There's no point getting into the stock because you're just going to be chasing it. It's gone up by a huge amount. You don't want to chase. So, but how wrong was I? Because it continued. So on the 5th of June, they secured more funding, this time around from the Department of Defense, the Defense Department. $60 million. So $60 million, not exactly a huge amount compared to what they received before and what they were going to receive later. But the fact that they're being backed by the Defense Department, I think, gave them more credibility, especially in an environment where there were hundreds of companies, biotechs, all claiming to be producing or looking for coronavirus vaccine. Now, having the Department of Defense backing you again gives you credibility as a company. So the stock didn't exactly go up huge that day, but just that credibility that they had from the backing from the Department of Defense was something that allowed it to continue to creep up after that. The big one came today. Awarded $1.6 billion with a B. Awarded to Novavax from Operation Warp Speed. Now that's the biggest. Now, what is Operation Warp Speed? Operation Warp Speed. Right, so it says Operation Warp Speed aims to deliver 300 million doses of a safe, effective vaccine for COVID-19 by January 2021. Now, I didn't believe that they were going to make this date, this January 2021, but now I believe it, because the US is putting their money where their mouth is. I mean, given that small company, it was a small company, it's not small anymore, but it was a small company 6 months ago, giving them 1.6 billion to provide a vaccine, that is putting their money where their mouth is. So I believe they're going to go ahead and make it. So the $1.6 billion that has been awarded to Novavax isn't just for the research towards producing the vaccine. It's actually for the production, for the manufacturing of the vaccines. It says 100 million doses, and they're going to start manufacturing these doses in late of 2020, so late this year, which is really crazy because it means that everything is really being fast forwarded and just fast tracked. Everything's like on fast forward right now. And from what I heard on Bloomberg TV today, the 100 million doses is actually for 50 million people, because you're going to get the first dose and then you're going to get a booster. So I think overall it's a good thing. What we're seeing is a good thing. The progress they're making towards making a vaccine is a good thing, just because I think that from what I've been seeing, that there are people who have been spooked, not only just people, also organizations who have been spooked into just not being able to do anything until they find a vaccine. There are people who would not go out, who would not do anything until they've been given a vaccine. So if this is what is going to get the economy running again, then let's go for it. Let's get it done. I believe this is going to be done by the end of this year. We're going to see vaccines, and so that means that all these organizations, all these companies will be able to plan towards opening towards the end of the year or early next year, and everything can return to normal. Now, what I don't know is if the US is going to be producing these vaccines for the rest of the world, because obviously the US is, 330 million people. The rest of the world, 7 billion, over 7 billion. So what we haven't been told is how the rest of the world is going to get the vaccines. But I guess when the vaccine is out, we will have that. They're going to have that discussion. So looking at this chart, I'm sure that there are people out there, or there's someone watching this video who's asking the question. So if this company went from $4 to $6 to $8 to $15 and to where it is now, why didn't you just buy like 1,000 shares, at some point? Why didn't you just, buy 1,000 shares at maybe at $10, and that's 10,000, and now you'll be selling it for $104,000. That's a profit of about 94,000. What? Yeah, but then the reality is that there were so many stocks, many companies since COVID-19 started who were claiming to be producing, or who are looking to produce a vaccine, and it's really difficult to determine which ones are likely to make it, or which ones are actually have the potential, the expertise to be able to produce a vaccine. So I kind of stayed away from coronavirus plays generally, and generally I stay away from biotech plays because they're very speculative, and it all depends on whether they are successful in producing the drug or the vaccine that they are looking to produce. So I generally stay away from them. They can be very lucrative when they work out, but also when they don't work out, they can be it can be really, really bad. It can really hurt your P&L. So I generally stay away from them. They're very, but if you got into this stock, if anybody if you got into this stock and you were able to make money from it, well done, well played. That was amazing. I mean, I have seen amazing runs in my time in the market, but this is one of the top, because apart from the fact that it went up huge, it's done this run on massive volume. On every day, this stock was trading about 10 million, 10 million shares, more than 10 million shares every single day, which basically means that there's a lot of liquidity, and it means that you can get in with a lot of volume and come out with a lot of volume without risking literally anything due to slippage. So that was a really, really amazing run. So like I said, if you made money from Novavax or indeed any other play from March this year, from this amazing run we've had in the market, be sure to take your money and take it out of the market and go and put it into something that's safer than what we're seeing in the market now. Be sure to take it and go and put it into something safe. Do not try to rinse and repeat. It's very difficult to get these runs. It's almost impossible to see another run like this. This is once in a decade type of situation. So be sure to take your money out and use it for something good and something safe. So I think we're headed in the right direction, because it's kind of like a win-win situation, because on one hand you have the people who want the vaccine and they're going to get the vaccine. People are going to be more confident to go out and do stuff. And on the other hand, you have the corporations, you have the pharmaceutical companies, the biotechs. They are getting a lot of money. They're being awarded a lot of money. And I'm not sure if they're going to keep, even the ones who don't end up with an effective vaccine, I think they get to keep the money that they've been given. So it's a win-win situation. Corporations are getting money, and the people are going to get a vaccine towards the end of this year. So it's all happening really fast. And I think it's a good thing in the end. I think we're all going to come out of this bigger and stronger. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on the notification so you don't get to miss the next videos. Peace.